My dear friends, totally we have seen 17 sutras, Shiva Sutras, 18 Sutra we have seen. What Shiva says to Parvati, 18th Sutra is very important. Look lovingly at any object. Look lovingly on some object. Don't go to another object. In the center of the object, the blessing. Very important. Look lovingly at some object. Don't go to another object. And in the center of the object is the blessing. Hope you are able to understand this. So, the key word here is look lovingly. Have you ever looked at something lovingly? See here, what do you mean by lovingly? Something which you want to give to somebody else. A lovely face, a beautiful face, a pretty face, a boy or a girl, a pretty body. So, you look at something when you want to give happiness to the other person's face, that particular face. When you want to make other person happy, that is called looking lovingly. So, you just introspect yourself and ask yourself, have you looked at somebody lovingly? You may say yes, but when you deeply introspect, you see something you are expecting from the other person. When you expect something from the other person, then it becomes lustfulness. What do you mean by lustfulness, sir? Anybody? Sex. When you look at somebody in a lustful way, that person becomes an object. That person becomes an object. That is why the girl or a boy or the men and women, if they are strangers, they don't like to be stared. When you stare at somebody, some strangers, it looks so vulgar, it looks so indecent. But when lovers, they stare at each other, it is so lovely, so beautiful, because it is a true love. Both are not expecting anything from each other. When you stare at somebody, a stranger, looking at that person's face or body, then you are looking at that person as an object. No person in the world like themselves to have a feeling that they are object. They like to be person. So, when you look at something lovingly, in the sense not expecting anything, then that person becomes a personality. Everybody likes to be first personality. In the way you look, they can understand whether you are looking lovingly or lustfully. This is very important in our day-to-day life. We meet a lot of people. We will see a lot of things. And when you look at something lovingly, you want to sacrifice something for that person. When you look lustfully at others, then you are trying to exploit the other person. Nobody likes to get exploited in this world. That's why you feel so annoyed and irritated when somebody looks at you lustfully. When somebody looks at you lovingly, it is okay, it is accepted. But there are certain rules. When you look at a stranger, there are certain times, you cannot look more than 30 seconds or 40 seconds at the eyes of the person. You can look at the most for 30 seconds for a stranger. Suppose one beautiful boy or a girl coming, if I am a boy or a girl, I just walk. Suddenly I stand and look at them. Will they like to be looked? No. They may ask you, what? Am I an object to look at like this? What's wrong with you? Nobody likes to be felt like an object. So, when you look at somebody lovingly, you want to sacrifice, you want to give happiness, you want to give joy, you are ready to give yourself to the other person. But when you are looking at somebody with expecting something, then what happens? You are making that person as an object. The marriage system here, is it love based or lust based? The boy comes and sees the girl. physical. He makes her as a body. He makes her as an object. What color she is, how tall, what is the income she is earning. She has a house, or this boy, is he tall, is he working in this company, he has a car, he has a bank balance. So entire thing becomes object versus an object. There is no love versus love. So object and object, what happens? What happens? See, common things are there: food, sex, giving birth to a child. It is common, biological things, everything goes on well. But at times, after some time, when the possession or object comes in between, when he possesses her or she tries to possess him, then both the objects, what happens? Object and object clashes. There is no love, because entire system is based on object. He never sees her as a person, she never sees him as a person. In the beginning, everything will be fine. Of all the biological needs, everything is over. Then after that, what happens? The quarrel starts. So here, my dear friends, he asked a question: are you looking at materials also? Can you look at the materials also? That's what your question is. See here, when you look at a car, you have a car of your own. You name the car. That car becomes a personality. You have a dog, you name the dog becomes a personality. You name the dog as what? Some lion, tiger. You name your parrot a name, then that becomes a personality. It is not like thousands of dogs in the street. It is a unique dog. It is not the same dog as you see. See, you work in an office. You are working in an office. Yeah, he works in an office. If he works and if he goes, nobody is bothered, because somebody else will be there in his place. Suppose one lady staff somewhere, she loves him. She loves him. What happens? You suppose if he gets transferred, who is affected? He is not a same staff. He is something special over there. So he becomes a special over there because somebody loves. In that love, they can feel the feeling. The office is not the same office. The staff is not the same staff. See, when you are in love with somebody, you lose yourself. You forget yourself. Your ego vanishes. See, 10, 20 of them are there. You love somebody. All the 19% vanishes. Only that person will be there. That is in true love. All others will be there, 19% will be there, but they will be in a what? They will be there, but your attention, everything will be concentrated on that particular person. See, when you are in love with somebody, your heart is not your heart. Your ego is not your ego. Everything vanishes. Who comes inside? That particular person comes inside. When that particular person comes inside, you lose yourself. When you lose yourself, you forget yourself. When you drink, what happens? You forget yourself. When you drink, you take marijuana, you take ganja. That's what the foreigners, they try to forget themselves. In love, you are in true love, you are able to forget yourself. Hundreds of meditations, techniques, nothing is equal to a pure love when you love on somebody else. You forget yourself. When you forget yourself, then opposite party also is in the same tendency. He or she also forget himself or herself. Then two nothingness join together. Then there happens the bliss, the happiness, the joy, the entire pleasure. So no meditation can be equal to that particular joining of two hearts with pure love. But what happens here? He forgets himself, she forgets himself, both together they join together, they experience the bliss and happiness. This person thinks because of this person only he got that happiness. Not because of that. Because of what? Because of the love he showed to her, and because she showed the love to him, that happiness they were able to experience. But sooner what happens? He or she, he thinks I should always get that happiness. So she or he should not go to somebody else. If she or he goes to somebody else, this happiness will be taken away by others. So he wants to possess this person. Here comes the problem. When he tries to possess this person becomes an object. So when he thinks that this person he should be possessed, then this person always also thinks him as an object. When you can think me as an object, why can't I think you as an object? So object and object, the problem happens. Clash happens. See, when in true love, what can you do to your lover? You can give your jewels, you can give car, you can give, our wife can give this and that. But in true love, nothing can be given. Whatever you give, it cannot be satisfied. So when you feel a sense of feeling that I cannot give anything more, nothing is there. When you feel that nothingness, there you lose your ego. That is the pure love. So, husband and wife life, either the life can be hell or heaven. When can it be hell? When can it be heaven? It can be heaven when you don't consider other person as an object. When you think other person as an object, what happens? Life turns to be hell. When you think other person as a personality, then that person becomes, then both together, then what happens? Heaven is there. So life can be turned as a heaven and life can be turned as a hell. That is in your hands. Dear friends, whenever you look at a person with lustful eyes, that person feels themselves as an object. A beautiful or a handsome boy or a girl, when they walk, you just look at them, stare at them. What happens? You stare at them for what purpose? You just feel whether if I have that particular person or that particular boy or a girl as my lover or wife or a husband, and when you think of on your own terms, then what happens? He or she feels themselves as an object. Nobody likes to be felt as an object. So when you stare at somebody, the staring creates a repulsiveness from the other person. Have you seen that? Nobody likes to be sad. Nobody likes to be noticed. I am in my bedroom, somebody pokes a hole and looks at me. I don't know. And so if I feel somebody is looking at me, I feel as if I am an object. So nobody likes to be felt like an object. When you look at somebody with lovingness, then you create them a personality in them. This is what they like. See, you take a beautiful flower, keep it in your hand, look lovingly at the flower. Don't move to another flower. Don't move to another object. Entire consciousness let it be towards the flower. Is it possible for you to do? Is it possible for you to do? Take a flower, look at it, 100% concentration on the flower. You just look, but your thoughts go away. But no, your thoughts completely should be on the flower. You just look at the flower. What can I do to this flower to be more beautiful? And when your concentration completely focuses on the flower, your entire thoughts has gone towards the flower. When you lose yourself, emptiness happens. In the same way, you look at a lovely face, some person, start looking lovingly, not like that rose flower is going to do to you, just like that. You are not expecting that person to do something to you. You are looking at that person just like the flower, how to make this rose flower more beautiful, like that, how to make this person more happier. When you look at it in that way, you lose your centeredness. Then emptiness comes. When emptiness comes in the love, you want to do something to your lover. Everything is there. You want to do everything for them. But there will be a point where you cannot do anything more. What can you do? You want to give the entire planet. You want to give the entire universe. Planet is not enough. Star, sun, moon. This is what lovers they are ready to do. but you are unable to do that. When that surrendering happens, that is the bliss, that is the happiness, that is the moment of joy. So, no meditation or no yoga, nothing can be equal to this particular aspect of lovingness. So, here coming back to the point, look at something, what is the point here? What is it given here? Read it out.
Look lovingly on some subject.
Look lovingly on some object.
Do not go on to another object.
Do not go to some other object.
Here in the middle of the object.
And in the middle of the object, the blessing is the happiness, the blessing is the bliss, the joy. Look at a flower, full concentration, just like you go to temple, you pray. You pray not for you, you pray for others. Is it possible? You look at the flower not for you, benefits are for the flower. You look at somebody lovingly, not for you, for others. But how many of you go to temple praying for others, not for you? That you don't find. Can you find anybody going to temple not praying for them, but praying for others? Very less. Love, prayer, both are same. This is what's given here. Look lovingly at some object. Don't go to some other object, only one object. And in the middle of the object, the blessing happens. This is what the Sivasutra 17:18 says. So, let us close our eyes 1 minute. Dear friends, sir, close your eyes. Look lovingly at some object, that is what Shiva Sutra says. Look lovingly at something. Don't expect something from that object. And when you look lovingly at some the object, then you want to give to the object. When you expect something from the object, it is lustfulness. No man in this world, no human being in this world can be satisfied with power, position, unless someone loves him deeply. Only in deep love that person feels that he is a personality, a uniqueness. Unless somebody loves one person deeply, his life is not fulfilled. Love, anybody can love, but loving deeply is the key point here. Even in prayer, never love for yourself, never pray for yourself, pray for others. In true love, when you look at love lovingly at somebody, you want to make the other person more happier. You forget yourself, and as you forget yourself, your ego vanishes. Then in the center, the joy and blessings happens. It can happen with a rose flower, it can happen with a rock, it can happen with anything, to the trees, in the sun, sky. Early morning we can see some persons doing Surya Namaskar, even to the moon, any object. In Hinduism, in Ayuta Puja, we find, we pray to all the books and materials, whatever which gives us, which helps us to do our work, and all our cars are being worshipped. So, any object lovingly, this is what the sutra says. நண்பர்களே, சிவசூத்ரா 18 சொல்லக்கூடியது, ஏதோ ஒரு பொருளை உள் அன்புடன் காதலுடன் நோப்பார், வேறு ஒரு பொருளுக்கு மாறாதே. அந்த பொருளை பார்க்கும் பொழுது அந்த பொருளின் மத்தியிலே உனக்கு ஆசீர்வதிக்கப்படுகிறாய். அன்பு, பாசம், நேசம், சந்தோஷம், மகிழ்ச்சி அனைத்தும் கிட்டும் என்று சொல்கிறார். காதலுடன் பார்க்க வேண்டும் என்று சொல்கிறார். ஒரு பொருளை பார்க்கும் பொழுது அல்லது ஒரு மனிதரை பார்க்கும் பொழுது அந்த மனிதருக்கோ அந்த பொருளுக்கோ நாம் என்ன செய்தால் அவர்கள் சந்தோஷமாக இருப்பார்கள் என்று நினைப்பது காதல். அந்த பொருள் மூலமாகவோ அந்த மனிதர் மூலமாகவோ நமக்கு என்ன இன்பம் கிடைக்கிறது, சந்தோஷம் கிடைக்குது என்பதை நினைப்பது காமம். காதலிலே மற்றவர்களுக்கு நாம் நம்மை நாமே அர்ப்பணிக்கிறோம். காமத்தில் மற்றவர்களை நம் இச்சைக்கு பயன்படுத்துகிறோம். ஸோ இதுவரைக்கும் வாழ்க்கையிலே காமத்துடன் பார்த்திருக்கிறாயா, காதலுடன் பார்த்திருக்கிறாயா? இதுதான் ஒரு கேள்வி. இந்த சூத்திரம் சொல்கிறது, ஏதோ ஒன்றை, ஒரு மனிதரோ ஒரு பொருளோ ஒரு ஆண் பெண்ணையோ ஒரு பெண் ஆணையோ உண்மையான காதலுடன் பார்க்கும் பொழுது அந்த பெண்ணுக்கோ அந்த ஆணுக்கோ என்ன செய்ய முடியும் அவர்கள் முகத்தை மேலும் சந்தோஷமாக்குவதற்காக என்று நினைப்பது தான் காதல். இந்த காதல் வயப்படும் பொழுது, இது இரண்டு பக்கமும் சேர்ந்து வரும் பொழுது இரண்டு பேரும் தங்களை தாங்களே மறந்து விடுகிறார்கள். அங்கே இதயங்கள் ஒன்றிணைகிறது. இந்த இதயத்திற்கும் அந்த இதயத்திற்கும் இரண்டு பேரும் மற்றவர்களை பற்றி நினைக்கும் பொழுது அங்கே இரண்டு உருவங்கள் ஒன்றுடன் ஒன்று கலக்கிறது. அந்த கலக்கிற பொழுது அங்கு பேரானந்தத்தை அவர்கள் அடைகிறார்கள். ஆனால் கூடிய விரைவிலே இந்த காதலுடன் இருக்கக்கூடிய தம்பதியினர் மற்றவர்களை பொருளாக பாவிக்கும் பொழுது அங்கே சண்டை வருகிறது. இந்த சண்டையினால் குடும்பம், கணவன் மனைவிக்குள் சொர்க்கமாக இருக்கக்கூடிய வாழ்க்கை நரகமாக மாறிவிடுகிறது. எப்பொழுது நரகமாக மாறிவிடுகிறது என்றால், அந்த ஆண் ஒரு பெண்ணையோ அல்லது பெண் ஒரு ஆணையோ பொருளாக பாவிக்கும் பொழுது, காதலுடன் பார்க்காத பொழுது அங்கே அவர்கள் வாழ்க்கை நரகமாகி விடுகிறது. இங்கே சிவசூத்ராவில் சொன்னபடி ஏதோ ஒரு பொருள், ரோஜா மலரை எடுத்துக்கொள்ளுங்கள், அந்த மலரை பார்த்து கொண்டே இருங்கள். அந்த மலருக்கு நாம் மேலும் மேலும் என்ன செய்ய முடியும் என்பதை யோசியுங்கள். அந்த மலரால் நமக்கு என்ன சந்தோஷம் கிடைக்கிறது என்று பார்க்காதீர்கள். இது மலராக இருக்கட்டும் அல்லது ஒரு பெண்ணாக இருக்கட்டும் ஒரு ஆணாக இருக்கட்டும், இப்படி நினைக்கும் பொழுது நீங்கள் உங்களுடைய அந்த ஈகோ என்பதை மறந்து விடுகிறீர்கள். இது பொருளுக்கும் மனிதர்களுக்கும் மட்டுமல்ல, கடவுளை வணங்கும் பொழுது கடவுளிடம் உங்களுக்காக வணங்காதீர்கள், மற்றவர்களுக்காக வணங்குங்கள். இப்படியாக மற்றவர்களின் சந்தோஷத்தை பற்றி நினைக்கும் பொழுது, ஒரு பொருளை பார்க்கும் பொழுது, அன்பாக பார்க்கும் பொழுது உங்களுடைய ஆன்மாவை மறந்து அவர்களை பற்றியே நினைக்கும் பொழுது அதன் மத்தியிலே வரக்கூடியது தான் அந்த பேரானந்தம். இதுதான் சிவசூத்ராவின் 18வது சூத்திரம். Thank you very much. Okay, my dear friend, just say what do you understand by this philosophy.
Actually, if you see one person, just see with love. You don't expect anything from them. If you expect something from them, it's a lust. It's you are expecting something physically or sex. If you expect with a lust, it's not a good love. So in this sutra, I understood this. What is love? What we should expect from them. That's it.
Okay, what do you understand? You can say. You can say. Now to கொடுத்து.
We should not look any person or an object with a lustrous love. We should have a true love in them. We should not expect any object or any kind of some reward for the love we are having in them. We should have a true love in them. We should do work to make them happy. We should not you should not be self-centered for their love. So you should look on some object, but you should not go to another object. In the middle of the object there is blessing. Thank you.
Good. You can say. Put on the mic.
You don't expect.
You don't expect some other person. It is good
good.
It is
Good, good, good.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So, suppose if you expect some other less, there was some problem will come. Hmm? Okay. Thank you.
Good, sir.